Hello and welcome to the Join Dota League Season 3 here on HeflaTV 1. I'm not loading into this game, but hopefully somebody is, or this game is actually going on, and eventually I'll get in. But yeah, we're having some technical difficulties after a long wait. Oh, we're into the draft. So it looks like I was just the last one to load in for some unbeknownst reason to me. Either way, this is going to be a best of two between Boreal Esports and Not Today. From the Join Dota League American Division. And as for casters, I'm Grandis C, and once again, I'll be joined by Mike Loris.
So yeah, this actually, they were just drafting, and apparently you could come in late now. That's actually pretty nice. We don't have to wait for random spectators or casters or whatever that aren't connecting. I think that was in the last patch, which is pretty nice. And, well, this game, Boreal Esports, formerly known as Armada, but they've been known as Boreal for quite a long time, and Not Today, going previously as Revenge, and then before that it was Denial, so you guys might know them by those names. It's actually just the full cast of Revenge slash Denial. And they're going to be going up against this team that's should be a fairly even one. I would think Not Today has a slight edge, just having stronger players overall, but who knows?
Yeah. Also, as far as what's going to happen with the series, Rolo has to go to do something. I can't remember. I think they have another game to be played in a couple of hours, so we might have to delay game 2, but at least game 1 is going to go more or less along with the schedule, as we are almost a half an hour late to starting this, mostly due to the fact that the admin was very late in getting the lobby up, and then we had the Dota 2 network just drop out from under us while we were loading in. But either way, first bans coming out from Boreal Esports, we have Death Prophet, Lycanthrope taken out by them. Not Today will ban out the Razor and Viper, and that will leave first pick Doom for Boreal Esports. Faceless Void, Brewmaster, as well as pretty much any support you could want, is available for Not Today to pick from, and they'll start things off with a Brewmaster Centaur Warrunner.
Well, it's a nice start for both teams, having just really bulky heroes as the first. Not Today are going to pick up a couple melee heroes, and both these heroes are most likely going to be soloing their respective lanes. Doom is probably going to be soloing a lane as well, and, well, I expect Boreal to probably pick up a support here so that they could have one of the best supports, because with Not Today having no supports and with the general supports not being picked up just yet, they're going to be highly contested in this upcoming ban and pick phase. So I expect both teams are going to be highly prioritizing that, and Boreal should get the jump on that by picking up something really strong like a Skywrath Mage. Doesn't get much better than that when you're dealing with the Brewmaster. Hey, and there we go. There's the bird guy. So nice silence for the Brewmaster. Together with the Doom, they will be able to shut down heroes for a very long period of time.
They do have the Centaur ultimate to get themselves out to safety if they do get doomed, and the Brewmaster needs a little bit of help to get bailed out. But still, a lot of control coming out from these first two picks from Boreal Esports, and as you said, it doesn't get much better than that. At this point in the meta, it's pretty stale, and it's very easy to expect what teams are going to pick. Yeah, South American teams, they highly prioritize the Razor as well as the Viper in their drafts, and we're seeing that again. In this series, as the Razor and Viper are both banned out by Not Today, there's going to be several heroes that we usually see either taken up or banned, still left in the pool as of now, but I'd expect probably your Skywrath Mage, or not your Skywrath Mage, but either your Shadow Shaman or Earthshaker to be taken out here, as those would be two really solid supports, and then we might also see like a Nature's Prophet ban. I'm not sure, it looks like both teams might have their offlaner, unless Boreal Esports want to snag something else for the offlane and bump Doom either to the mid or safe lane.
Yeah, for Not Today, having already two melee heroes makes it a little bit more difficult to pick up someone like a Earthshaker or Wraith King and be really happy about it. If you get too many melee heroes, you could very easily be punished by, something like a Darkseer or something like that just does really well against melee heroes in general, or a Tide Hunter, which is still in the pool for Boreal, would be an okay pickup, but with the Doom already, don't really know about that. But Not Today are probably going to want to pick up more range supports, which is why we see Boreal banning out that Jakiro, and Not Today, they're going to ban out the Earthshaker. Wouldn't be surprised to also see Not Today ban out the Wraith King, as Boreal, getting rid of something like a Rubik won't be a terrible idea, but yeah, just getting rid of range supports from Not Today, or a Shadow Shaman.
I half expect Not Today to ban out the Doom, or not the Doom, the Faceless Void from Boreal Esports. I think it would still fit into the lineup, despite having a Doom on their side is not going to contribute that much to the Chronosphere. They already have the Skywrath Mage, and anything on top of that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, Faceless Void is always going to be a fantastic pick, more so for Boreal than Not Today. Faceless Void will actually be a pretty crappy pickup for Not Today. Way too melee heavy, and they don't play well in the Chronosphere. Boreal, Skywrath Mage can pretty much insta-kill anyone who's caught in the Chronosphere. Maybe not the Centaur and Brewmaster, but anyone else that Not Today pick up. So I would like to see that pick for them and just have a nice protected safe lane farmer of the Faceless Void. Maybe even go for a little bit of a greedy late game with Doom. They will be able to get a lot of gold advantage through that. But just having that Chronosphere in general is going to be really nice, as they do kick out the Shadow Shaman, kind of to be expected from Boreal, limiting the ranged heroes options from Not Today.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman, although he's not the longest range hero, if you can get him in range for his Shackles, it's very useful, especially getting like the Centaur Warner in position for a Stomp or Clap from the Brewmaster. And more than anything, just a really solid support pick that you probably aren't going to see very much outside of the first picking stage. He's just a little too good to give away. The Serpent Wards offer you a lot of pushing power, and then he has some good lockdown, some decent nuking power. Really, his biggest weakness is that he can get dropped down, but if he already commits the Serpent Wards, his impact in the teamfight's already felt. Wraith King, the last ban from Not Today, Faceless Void is going to be available for Boreal if they do want to take it up. But as for Not Today, I'm going to expect them to pick up a ranged support, although that pool is fairly limited. They'll get themselves up a Witch Doctor.
Yeah, nice little stunning action. Also, when you have such tanky heroes, if you could add to their tankiness and Voodoo Restoration, then that's always going to be very useful. It'll mean Boreal are going to struggle to burst these heroes down, because if they don't completely 100 to 0 the likes of Centaur, then he's going to very quickly regenerate with the help of Witch Doctor, and Brewmaster will just be able to split and stuff like that. So, Not Today, they're going for a very tank-heavy lineup. They're going to be extremely durable in this game. And Boreal with the Doom, not inherently a huge damage dealer unless he actually builds in a very pure damage direction, which is not often seen. Skywrath Mage is a very pure damage support hero, and Boreal would need a lot of damage in order to deal with these heroes. Through another support, unfortunately, the Earthshaker would have been pretty much the perfect pick, but hell, if you want damage, doesn't really get much better than Templar Assassin.
Not really, and especially on the Dar side, Templar Assassin can do very well as far as getting that Roshan secured for a team. In lane, however, up against a Brewmaster, although generally you wouldn't think the Brewmaster does very well up against a Templar Assassin, Drunken Haze is just so annoying for TA to deal with, as she doesn't have another way to see us outside of her right-clicks, and I think that matchup actually favors the Brewmaster a slight bit at the early portions before Templar Assassin really gets online. Chen going to be the next pickup for Not Today. It's very interesting. Chen kind of fell off of the face of the earth, and over the past couple of days I've been seeing him resurge yet again. He's going to offer even more sustain throughout all of these pushes, with presumably a mech for his team as well as the Hand of God, and then also more bodies to throw into the front lines for Boreal against Boreal Esports, as they don't really have very good wave clear, with the exception of Templar Assassin's Psyblades.
10 seconds to
Yeah,
go.
it's kind of weird to see Chen twice in one day, after I haven't seen him in quite a few days, so he's going to be seen. And, well, it will let Not Today have even more bodies in the front lines, which is going to be certainly very useful. Not Today can go for something around the lines of a Pugna and have a Witch Doctor Pugna lane with Chen to occasionally jump in, and they could really aggressively push down Boreal's lane. Centaur and Brewmaster will be perfectly fine in their respective lanes, and I expect Not Today to do something like that. Just use the early game power of the Chen plus the Pugna to take a decisive advantage early on. Then come late game, you'll have a Brewmaster and Centaur Warrunner. Not exactly the best late game heroes, but they already have a Chen. It's hard to take a super late game when you have that hero. Boreal, their fourth pick, is going to be that Clockwork, so they're going to get some initiation on the board for themselves. Again, versus the two melee heroes, Clockwork is just another great counter because of Battery Assault and Cogs, making it very difficult for the melee heroes to be where they want to be. But Cogs with Doom and Templar Assassin also on your team could prove to be a little bit more hurt than help, should the Cogs be in a poor position.
Yeah, if he's on point, they do have the Skywrath Mage to put some damage inside the cogs, but yeah, the Clockwork play is going to be very pivotal for Boreal Esports so that they don't actually disrupt their own team fight. The last ban actually from Boreal is the Bat Rider, and I don't think that would have been a good pickup for Not Today. They already kind of have their initiation already set up, single target from the Centaur, as well as a decent teamfight initiation from the Brewmaster. Bat Rider wouldn't have been the worst, but I think I'd be more scared of the Pugna in this situation. Not Today will have that available to them if they want to go for it.
Yeah, they could go for very early hero in the Pugna and try to take some towers that way. They could go for a little bit of a later game hero in something along the lines of Morphling, something like that. Against Doom, Skywrath Mage of Silence is going to be a little bit devastating, which means Morphling isn't going to be the best of picks, but something more along those lines. They have quite a bit of time to think about what direction they want to go. Really, with this Chen, they could use him as an early game pusher or just an early game securer, in that they will have a lot of tankiness on the front lines in the early stage, and they'll keep their lanes safe and occasionally go for a tier 1 tower. But really, the Chen does offer you that sort of limited flexibility. So Not Today could even go for something really late like a Spectre and try to have Chen, Witch Doctor, Centaur, and Brewmaster hold the fort while Spectre farms. Lots of flexibility for the Not Today side. As Boreal, they're going to look for one more support. The Skywrath Mage not going to be partnered with the Ancient Apparition. As far as good partners are concerned, well, I mean, more disables is always going to be useful. They don't actually have that many stuns, so maybe a Rubik, maybe a Vengeful Spirit or something like that.
Yeah, I would think either of those are pretty good. I'm kind of leaning towards the Vengeful Spirit. I think being able to kite with like a swap would be very useful, having that single target stun, but no, not today pick up a Phantom Assassin. I don't know why they picked up the Phantom Assassin. It's cool to see the hero, but honestly, I don't think this synergizes very well with the rest of their team. They'll be able to keep her alive, but I don't like it all that much. I think either go really early or really late. Phantom Assassin is kind of an awkward middle ground.
If Phantom Assassin does get a lot of farm, she could do pretty well. Once she gets doomed, though, I believe Blur is turned off, though Crit is still turned on. If I'm incorrect, then please let me know about that. But the Phantom Assassin will be able to farm pretty easily for the Not Today side, and against Templar Assassin, the matchup isn't that great, like when they're actually going to be hitting each other, but versus everyone else, Boreal, they're fairly tanky, so Phantom Assassin is going to need quite a bit of farm and items in order to actually get kills on the Boreal side, with the exception of Leshrac, which is the last pick for Boreal, which is also another hero that I wouldn't really have expected. Leshrac usually paired up with someone who has a guaranteed setup in a stun or something like that. Skywrath Mage isn't that hero, so Leshrac is going to struggle to land his split Earths, although I think mostly they want him for the Lightning Storm in order to put a little bit of pressure back towards Not Today, try to counter that Chen push.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just a side note on the Phantom Assassin for a little bit. It just feels like she's not going to be able to get very much out of these lanes. Unless, well, it looks like she is going to be their safe lane farmer. So that's okay if that is the Clockwork versus the Phantom Assassin, as long as she has support. But even then, the Phantom Assassin needs a whole lot of items, as you said, to actually do anything this game. We'll have to see how it's going to work out for them. It's not something I was expecting at all. Well, as far as introducing the players and the heroes that they're going to be on, we're going to have Iwa playing on the Phantom Assassin Smash, taking up the Brewmaster, currently walking down towards bottom, but I think he'll be taking up our mid position with, that's Stunting on the Witch Doctor, as well as Masoku playing on the Chen. Offlane is going to be handled by the Centaur of Mihawk, and I think that rounds out their lineup. It does look like Smash is just going to get some pooled regen and then handle mid.
On the Boreal side, we got a couple of stand-ins. Pizza Dad 37. I have no idea who that is, if that's anyone at all, but he's going to be on the Clockwork. Monkeys Forever is going to be handling the mid lane Templar Assassin. Jolly Joker is on the Doom, along with Jaws Skywrath Mage. And up towards top, we have Rolo, who does have boots first, so he's going to look to be a little bit aggressive, it looks like, most likely along with that Skywrath Mage. But yeah, the Phantom Assassin is going to get some pretty secure farm down here. The Clockwork isn't really capable of getting any kills on the Phantom Assassin, not with the supports, and especially not with Phantom Strike. Just a single Phantom Strike will keep her safe most of the time, so unless Phantom Assassin gets really aggressive and really stupid and tries to dive a tower, she's going to be just fine to get all the farm in the world. And Boreal don't exactly have supports that are going to be able to help out either, so it's going to be what looks like Jolly Joker getting farm out on top versus the Phantom Assassin getting farm down bottom. Boreal, they should try to make an aggressive play before this Phantom Assassin gets too big. Ideally, I would say just go very early on, but it seems like they don't want to do that.
Yeah. I don't know, it's not a matchup we're kind of used to be seeing, and the lineups from both teams are very unconventional. I suppose that's a good thing. The first two picks were not so, and they turned in a completely different direction afterwards, so let's see. The top matchup is going to be Mihawk versus a tri-lane coming out from Boreal, although the Doom is not going to be contributing much for now. He's currently sitting, looking like he's going to be just straight up jungling, or at least getting this first creep before he shows his face in lane. It'll give a little bit more room to this Leshrac, who will probably pick up the farm for this first wave. But I don't know, they might just leave this Doom in the jungle for the majority of this time, despite not starting out with a Quelling Blade. He can still jungle pretty effectively.
Yeah, he's got the Stout Shield plus Ring of Protection. It's a lot more survivability items than you normally expect to see from a Doom who's going to be in lane, who really shouldn't be pressured that hard by a single hero. Rolo with the boots looks like he's going to be just farming up with a Shrek, so Boreal going for a rather greedy way of laning and assigning their heroes. With Doom in the jungle, usually is a hero that doesn't actually do anything until he gets level 6, because he doesn't actually have any chances to. He just wants to farm, and he's a decent enough jungle farmer, although not the securest by any means. I guess Masoku is also jungling, so there's one jungler apiece, as Iwo does go for Pizza Dad down bottom. Doesn't have level 2 for the Phantom Strike. He's just going to town on that Clockwork, and not many creeps to help out. Iwo's going to take a lot more damage, and he's actually going to deliver. That's not going to be forever, though, as the top lane Mihawk, well, he's going to get hit with the split earth. That was free-handed or maybe off of concussive shot. Just caught the tail end of that one. Jolly Joker did help out in the shockwave, so, helping out with a little bit.
Yeah, Rolo, he got himself some early farm, and now they jump back in with the centaur. It's going to get concussed up, but they already throw out Rolo's stun. He doesn't have any mana, but with the Diabolic Edict, they're just going to run down Mihawk. Mihawk inside the woods, he's trying to run away, and it looks like he'll be able to make it out to safety. Yeah, Scorched Earth, they're not going to find him just yet, although Mihawk shows his face a little bit closer to tower than I thought he would. With the Leshrac as low as he was in the mana, as well as health department, they couldn't actually go for that kill as effectively. They're going to throw a concussive shot, but that's not followed up, just going to cancel a salve and be a nuisance.
Yeah, so the Centaur struggling a lot more than I really would have expected. The concussive shot into Split Earth is okay. It's not the most secure way to set up that stun, but if you do land it, they'll be able to put a lot of damage into the Centaur. He does have quite a bit of armor, so Diabolic Edict not going to be doing a ton, but it is going to be the level focus from Leshrac, and it's been quite a long time since I've seen Leshrac go for this Diabolic Edict-centric build. I think this might be a time where he just completely ignores Lightning Storm, which is very rarely seen, and just tries to get some early game tower pushes. Boreal, that's how they're going to apply the pressure to this Phantom Assassin, not by killing her off, but by restricting her farming space and really forcing her out of the lane by pushing elsewhere. And, well, if it works out, then that's completely fine, because this tower is going to take quite a bit of damage from this level 2 Edict, with the Doom running interference on the creeps. Again, taking not much damage due to a Stout Shield and a Ring of Basilius. They are going to pretty easily put some serious damage into this tower, and eventually, in 1 or 2 creep waves, they will be able to take it without resistance.
Yeah, without any rotations coming up from Chen or Witch Doctor, they're not going to be able to do anything. Currently, Chen is sitting mid. They're going for the Templar Assassin here. The body box coming out from the creep. They already threw out the Centaur Stomp, and it's not going to be enough damage or will it? All they need is one more auto attack, and they're going to be able to find it. Templar Assassin falling mid after doing a very good job up against Smash. Which I wasn't exactly expecting, especially with the Drunken Haze point coming up from the Brewmaster early on. The Brewmaster was just zoned out very heavily by the Templar Assassin, just trading with him very effectively. But this is going to tip the scales towards Smash as they're able to get a kill on the TA. Up top, the push continues, and they're able to get that tower, and Mihawk, he's now getting a lot of damage. Split Earth is going to be on the mark, and the Shockwave, as well as one more auto attack, is all that they need for that kill. This Centaur just not having a very good game. Yeah, this top lane going very well for Boreal.
And Centaur is playing way too far up. I mean, against these heroes, if you get concussive shot, then you're most likely going to die until you have your Stampede. Yes, Centaur is a tanky hero, but against 3 other heroes, he really can't do that much as they go for Pizza Dad down bottom. Level 2 Maledict, in fact, from the Witch Doctor. It might be enough to take it out with another Dagger and a Phantom Strike. I think this Clockwork's going to die. He has 1 bottle charge, so he should be fine. Actually, he's going to be close. He will not use that bottle charge. So, okay. It's hard to bottle up through that Maledict, but sure enough, he will go down to the Witch Doctor. Very early points in Maledict from him. Again, something we don't always see.
Yeah, I'm torn on the Maledict build. It was able to secure that kill, so you can't really argue with it that much, but then again, he's sacrificing a lot of his paralyzing cask for it. Witch Doctor dies down in bottom. He's going to sacrifice himself to neutral creep. He bought everything before he died, so that was intentional. Never mind. But yeah, the push continues from Boreal up into this tier 2 tower. They haven't committed anybody else to try and stop this, so slowly but surely this tier 2 tower is also going to die, although it is securing Centaur some much needed experience in this top lane. Currently sitting evenly on, with the Clockwork despite dying in extra time.
So this Doom, the way that Boreal are playing it, is pretty much what you would expect a Chen to do. Come out and just contribute some neutral creeps effects, and then go for tower pushes. Seeing a Doom do it is kind of jarring, because Doom's usually just AFK farm until they get to level 6, and then look for a kill. But with his Shockwave, as well as the Unholy Aura, he's keeping Rolo at full HP at all times, because any single point of damage that the Leshrac takes is very quickly regenerated back because of that Unholy Aura. And, well, Shockwave already got him 2 kills, and with the Diabolic Edict, they're going to be looking for more. However, they'll have to deal with Smash rotating in. There's a Stampede. I don't know if this Clap is going to be in range. It looks like it will just barely not reach because he gets silenced. And a beautiful 2-man Split Earth from the Leshrac. It's hard to land those, but if you could land them on 2, you're going to be feeling pretty good. That was the first Stampede, and it did literally nothing.
Yeah, I think more than anything off of good plays coming out from Boreal rather than bad plays coming out from Not Today. The silence came out at the perfect time right before the clap was coming out. He was mid-animation, then it got cancelled, and then Rolo with that last Split Earth. Wonderful play. So Stampede not going to be used to great effect, but they still are holding on to their Brewmaster split. Although the Templar Assassin has really come ahead in the farm department. up against this Brewmaster, despite dying once. She's currently looking to make a rotation down towards bottom, it seems, with the Haste Rune pop. The Witch Doctor might be a fairly easy kill. Do they have level 6 on the clockwork? They do. No hooks being thrown out yet by Pizza Dad 37, and, well, Stifling Dagger thrown his way as well. We get a flare. It's not going to give them vision of the Witch Doctor, and Templar Assassin just hiding awkwardly behind the tier 1 tower. But Ewo, as well as that stunning, do know that something's up, and Monkeys is going to show himself to the creep wave.
Haste Rune Templar Assassin is not something you really want to deal with only 1 point of cast. She's going to teleport back to the mid lane where Masoku and Smash are trying to get something going, though Smash does have a split. That's why he rotated up to the top lane to begin with. He could get a kill on the Templar Assassin now that the Haste Rune is done. If the Haste Rune was still up, then no kills available for them. But they have 2 Chen creeps, and they're 2 of the better ones. They are Centaur and the Hellbear. They're very, very tanky. The Centaur aura, as well as the lack of aura from Hellbear, not exactly helping the creep wave. So it looks like between the Templar Assassin with 2 points in side blades drawing off the aggro, plus Pizza Dad throwing off some flares here and there, the push from the Chen is going to be very heavily delayed. And he's farming okay. He has Arcane Boots, but I don't think this Chen should be trying to do anything. He should be going for the I'm just going to AFK farm Chen and then try to get a mech very early for his team.
I think so too. Masoku, he's not able to really get much around this map. The killing potential just isn't there, really. Maybe with the split they can find something onto the Templar Assassin, but even then, if they get the kill, it's probably not going to require the Chen anyway, if they're able to line that up. Push is going to continue up top from Boreal. They haven't been able to put much damage on this tier 2 tower, and they're rotating the Brewmaster, potentially looking for wraparound. We do have Stampede, and he's just going to run, and he gets silenced immediately, and, well, no stuns get thrown his way, and it looks like Stampede is going to be more or less wasted again.
That's just the Skywrath Mage with 1 point in Ancient Seal, constantly denying an ultimate from the Centaur. I mean, Brewmaster can run in, but even though he does have a lot of movement speed, when he's silenced up like that, he can't get his split off. And really, that's why we always say Skywrath Mage is a great counter to the Brewmaster. It's even going to hold true once the Brewmaster picks up his blink. If the Skywrath Mage is fast with his fingers, he could silence the Brewmaster once he's blinked in, and at that point, the Brewmaster's already committed. He probably can't run away unless they use Stampede to retreat, in which case they use Stampede to retreat, and that's a pretty big win for the teams. They're going to go in on top, it looks like. No, just going to keep ticking away at that tower with the Edict. Chen has sent his creeps up here, you know, Seder with a couple of shockwaves, but slowly but surely this tower is going to go down, and Boreal, they're not really sacrificing that much for it. I mean, Doom's still getting his farm with Devour, and even though Leshrac he was the primary farmer in the lane, and even though he may not be farming as much anymore, he doesn't need that much. He's very oftenly seen as a support hero, so if he's broke, that's fine for the Boreal side.
Yeah. Well, this Doom, he gives up his Unholy Aura for the movement speed aura, and it's actually making the Skywrath and Leshrac move incredibly fast, and with Scorched Earth, he can also move at ridiculous speeds. Right now, with nothing else, just the drums as well as the movement speed aura, 438 as well as 432 on Leshrac and Skywrath Mage, respectively. Even with Centaur Ultimate, they're not going to be able to chase them down as effectively as you'd like to. They're going to throw a stun, but it completely misses from that Centaur Conqueror. And, well, they're just going to continue the siege onto this tier 2 tower, but TPs are coming in. They want to initiate with the Centaur Ultimate. No silence goes his way, and, well, Jaw looks like he's going to be the cost of this rotation as the Witch Doctor picks up that kill with 1 more auto attack. Although Jolly Joker and Rolo are going to be able to make it out alive. They're also leaving the Templar Assassin more or less alone. The Phantom Assassin also rotating up here. Not today. I would say, even though they got the kill on the Skywrath Mage, that's not a straight win for them, as they're committing a lot of resources where they get very little. Yep, they are going to go on, well, who's going on to who? Centaur Warner is going to be able to back off as the hookshot lands onto a creep.
Yeah, that was ultimately a pretty nice win for Boreal, though they did lose their Skywrath Mage. It's only a Skywrath Mage, so it's not a terribly huge deal, and not today. They've literally rotated their entire team up there, as Monkeys Forever going to make a break for the Invis Rune, will get it denied to her, and now she's dusted up, and she has no way to escape. There's a level 3 Maledict on her, and the damage is just going to be there. This Monkeys Forever TA is going to go down about time for the Not Today side, but still, that rotation, they rotated everyone up to the top lane, and they only got 1 kill on a support using the Stampede. They did stop that very slow death ball from the 3 Boreal heroes, but it was at a really steep cost, and they are just going to return back up to the top lane and then continue, as mid lane is being pushed by Not Today. With level 1 Voodoo Restoration, they'll keep these creeps very healthy, and the Hand of God can restore them back up to full HP, in fact. This is going to be a tier 1 tower down in favor of Not Today, but I think it's going to be at the trade of a tier 2 on the top lane.
Yeah, looks like that is going to be the trade. Really, the thing that's tipping that in the favor is the pick off on the Templar Assassin, who is firing decently well, and actually has just 1 Mithril Hammer in her inventory. Not sure if that's going to be BKB, but I'm going to assume as much, as Desolator would be a tad greedy. Although being able to burst down the Chen and Witch Doctor is nice, I think you do need the BKB to avoid the Brewmaster as well as the Centaur initiation.
Yeah, at this point, especially the Maledict, it's not something that you ordinarily have to worry about, but it's a dangerous skill. If it is a Desolator, it'll let Boreal get a much faster Roshan, though they don't exactly have that much synergy with physical right-clicks. I mean, Jolly Joker's going for a mech, so he's not going to be hitting that hard, although he does have that Wolf Pack aura. Rolo with the level 3 Diabolic Edict does do physical, or partially physical, so that will be amplified by the Desolator, but if Templar Assassin really does go for that item, I think it will be pretty greedy, and it'll be very easily punished by Not Today. But they're just going to go in for Roshan anyway. There's only 1 point in Meld because Monkeys Forever did prioritize Psyblades, 1 more point than Templar Assassins usually do. Regardless, they should be able to take this out pretty easily, especially with that extra 30% damage from the Doom. But here comes Not Today. They know what's happening and they're smoked up. They're looking to go in. 2 Centaurs to lead the chase, and their Death Ward is available. There's 2 Centaurs. Stomp number 1, stomp number 2, and instantly Boreal, they're going to lose a whole bunch of heroes. There's 3 down immediately. Monkeys Forever going to try TP in the back end. He'll make it out alive. But the Chen with the micro is going to really, really collect, as Witch Doctor is the one to kill everyone. I don't know how he killed everyone. I guess just lucky Death Ward, but really the Chen got should get most of the credit there.
Definitely, the Centaur ultimate making those Centaur Conquerors run at max movement speed, setting up perfectly for a double hoof stomp on pretty much everybody, with the exception of the Templar Assassin who's higher up. The split goes down in bottom, he's going to throw one up in the air, and now Boulder Charles up Pizza Dad, 4 step away by, I believe, Rolo, and, well, Pizza Dad is going to delay his death here as he hookshots straight into the wind creep. Oh, Brewmaster back with the double damage rune. He's going to be forced to retreat. He's behind the tier 1 tower, excuse me. He's not in the safest situation. He'll be concussive shot up and then just TP out straight. But yeah, good fight for Not Today off of the double stomp. Chen now has his mechanism completed. Not the fastest timing that you'll see from a Chen, but still, since he hasn't died once and has been involved in 6 kills, it's going to come at a respectable time, especially after the Arcane Boot's finished. Yeah, Phantom Assassin in this game is going to be going for a Battle Fury build. I'm not entirely sold on it. I think he can fight earlier with Phantom Assassin than going for the Battle Fury, although she will propel herself into late game a lot faster, and coup de grace crits with the Battle Fury cleave is nothing to joke about.
And with how they're playing and with how Boreal are playing against them, Boreal pushing and trying to go for objectives very greedily, the Battle Fury is going to be a relatively dead item in the Phantom Assassin's inventory. I would have liked to have seen pretty much anything else. Like, Helm of the Dominator is decent just for giving you armor and lifesteal. They're going to jump in on Jolly Joker up on top, though it's a lot of regen. The Doom does go onto Smash, so he doesn't have a split anyway. The healing from Mistco is going to be enough to keep Smash alive for now, as Iwo is on the run. He does have an Aegis, so he's going to want to turn and fight eventually, but Smash is being run down. The Doom, he's not going to get the kill because it's sent back home, and Smash will make it out alive. Masoku will most likely give up his life for this, as Iwo still being chased down, can't do any damage. He will dodge a meld hit, but now the Aegis is popped as they do take out Doom eventually and respawn from the Templar Assassin. She's going to want to go for Rolo, if anyone, but it looks like Not Today are going to be okay with that. They pulled the Brewmaster out, and he was saved from the Doom. They lose the Aegis, but they get the Doom in exchange. Overall, not, especially since they're going to take this one tower, should be very happy with how that went.
Yeah, a lot of that comes down to Masoku and his micro is very much on point with the Centaur stomps. Yet again, they chainston that Doom perfectly, so he didn't have to give up his life either. And yeah, just too many heals going the way of that Brewmaster between the mech, between the Hand of God, as well as the Voodoo Restoration. He tanked through that Doom and drew out a lot of cooldowns for very little, and now he has the split coming off of cooldown again. He's back into the fray, and they'll be able to fight once again. And without the Doom, as well as without the hookshot for 14 seconds, I think they can take this tier 2 tower without much of a huge defense if they want to fully commit. But then again, it is still pretty scary. They jump in with the Centaur hoof stomp right onto Monkeys Forever. Monkeys, he's going to be dropped down very low, doesn't even get off the refraction. Now split in the backlines. They focus down Pizza Dad inside his cogs. That's going to set up beautifully for the Death Ward, and they're going to be able to get that kill. Now perched down to the ground. The Doom, they don't Boulder Toss him up just yet. The Boulder Toss doesn't come out. They are going to get a double hoof stomp, double edge, and now Jolly Joker is going to die. 4 kills, presumably going the way of Not Today, but they're not going to chase Jolly Joker into the base. No, I spoke too soon as Brewmaster jumps in. One more smack is all that they need, and Masoku gets that with the Test of Faith. 3 Chen creeps inside the base. Tier 2 tower is still standing, although not for long, as with only the Chen, or Skywrath Mage standing, excuse me, it should be pretty straightforward for them to take.
That was a 4 versus 5 fight. Phantom Assassin had no part in that, as Mihawk and Smash, the 2 tanky heroes with the Blink Daggers, really setting up for most of that. Also, a crucial misplay from Boreal. I don't know if it was actually as huge as I'm making it out to be, but the Force Staff from Leshrac used to force Smash further into their bases, well, take a pause on that. Ewo on the bottom lane, gonna get caught with the battery assault, concussive shot as well. Now in the cogs, silence up, and he's gonna go down. But yeah, the Leshrac ended up pushing the Brewmaster into his own team, and that's never what you want to have happen, because Brewmaster already uses Blink Dagger. That was supposed to be it for his mobility, but he got further in and then he split, and that's incredibly dangerous. But really, not today, with the Death Ward set up and it was pretty much channeled for its entirety of duration, and the Centaur getting Hoof Stomp initiation not once but twice on Boreal. Not today, they're just taking better fights because of these Blink Daggers. And Boreal, they don't have any Blink Daggers just yet. They're not starting fights with Pizza Dad. That's what they really need to do. Start a fight off of the Clockwork hook. And if that's not going to happen, then the Brewmaster and Centaur are going to start fights, and that's really not what you want to have happen if you're any team, let alone Boreal.
Yeah, they do now have the BKB on the Templar Assassin, so maybe she won't just straight up die at the beginning of the fights, but that's pretty much been the story of Monkeys. He hasn't been able to do anything. 0-3 and 0. This Templar Assassin, she did well in lane, but after that, it hasn't really worked out for them, and if she gets caught out another time, this could be bad. It is the Witch Doctor as well as the Centaur, probably not the easiest skill. Centaur's looking for it, potentially. They do have Vision of Monkeys, and will they jump for it? She's farming up this small camp. Oh, there you go, the Hoof Stomp. She does get the Refraction off, but it is going to be eaten through. The Skywrath Mage ultimate is going to land on a Mihawk, but not that much. The Death Ward is being challenged. BKB forced out by Monkeys forever, and a lot of cooldowns on both sides. No kills going either way. The Clockwork potentially looking for a hookshot, and we also have Jolly Joker rotating in with the Doom. TP away from the Witch Doctor, and Centaur should be fine as well. Yeah, very awkward exchange that doesn't actually net them anything, but the tier 2 tower in mid is going to take some damage, although Smash as well as Mikasa are probably going to back off. Or Masoku, excuse me.
Yeah, and top lane for not today, it's another nice small win for them. Centaur spent pretty much nothing in order to do that. Death Ward has a very low cooldown. By the time they need it, it will be up again. And they force out a crucial 10-second BKB charge from the Templar Assassin. Of course, if they are quicker on the chain stun, and they will absolutely chain stun her down, then no refraction means the Templar Assassin is going to be paper underneath the Centaur. Though Refraction versus Centaur is actually very good, because if you block a double edge, that's a lot of damage that Centaur is going to be taking, and you're not going to be taking any. Not today, off of those fights. They have the split available. They're going to go for a very direct push down the bottom lane. This is an opportunity for Pizza Dad to make his initiation count. And I don't think I've seen a single one. He's going to force that, and no, that was actually a hook shot that he just whiffed completely. One hoof stomp now, and then the second one to follow up. He's Maledict, and he's going to go down. Brewmaster now in with Mihawk. He's going to go for Jolly Joker. He's got double edge and a big crit from Ewo. Jolly Joker, though, with the mech and armor. He will survive for now. I don't think he's going to survive for very long. Skywrath Mage also getting propelled up into the air, will fall into Centaurs, and he's going to get Shockwave down. That's another death for Boreal. Now Rolo, the exact same situation. Boulder, Stomp, double edge. Monkeys Forever is sitting off to the sidelines wondering what the hell happened, because he is suddenly without a team. And really, Clockwork, that was the weakest hook shot that I've ever seen.
I don't know, this Clockwork just hasn't done it for me. He's not hit a single hook shot, I want to say. Maybe he's hit one, but most of them have landed into creeps. Yeah, and he hasn't really been able to set very much up. 0-3 and 1 on this Clockwork. Although with only 4 kills on his team, that's like not saying that he's could have done much better, but yeah, it's just not looking good. Not today with their Blink Daggers, as well as just their teamfight control is too much really for Boreal to handle. And right now, Boreal, I'm not sure if they can delay fights effectively enough, and even if they are, what are they delaying it for? This Phantom Assassin is just going to continue to get bigger and bigger, getting very close to a BKB, only about 900 gold away, unless she has anything on the courier. No, she doesn't.
I think for Boreal, really, it was going pretty well as Pizza Dad finally does find someone. He's going to find Misko. That's a kill for the Clockwork, about freaking time. But that's actually a lot of gold. Unstoppable streak from the Witch Doctor. I did not realize that Witch Doctor had that long a streak. But Boreal, it was going really well for them when they were on top lane and they were constantly pressuring that. I think it really fell apart once they went into that first Roshan pit, because they lost that so hard, and ever since then, they just haven't gotten anything out of this game. It gave the Centaurs money for his Blink Dagger, and Brewmaster already had his, and he was showing it off. Jolly Joker and Code looking for a little bit of something. They're going to find Smash. If they get the Doom on him, Smash is most likely going to die. Hand of God will give him a little bit of health, and it won't be enough, though. Doom is going to get the last hit there. Not today. Losing 2 heroes, but Boreal making some really aggressive plays, getting some kills, and it's going to be a start to get them back into this game, but they still need so much more. If the TA is going to be a full-on hard carry, she needs way more gold than just a BKB power treads at 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, despite the gold advantage not being unsurmountable, 5,000 is now within the realm of possibility. It's pretty standard. 10,000 the lead in experience for Not Today is pretty scary for them to deal with as you look at especially the support levels. Skywrath Mage as well as the Tracker 7 and 8 respectively, and then you have a Doom that's also level 9 that's not really doing all that much. We have level 2 in the Hand of God and almost sitting at level 2 in the Death Ward. This Death Ward up until now has done a whole lot of work, and it's only going to get even scarier. I don't know. They just don't have the levels that Boreal really need to fight, and now we have a Chen picking himself up a Vladimir's offering. I love this choice for him, as it's going to give lifesteal to the Phantom Assassin as well as a whole lot more damage for them to deal with. All of their cores are melee, although more than anything it's for the Phantom Assassin.
And Phantom Assassin is farming up a Storm, clearing an Ancient stack with that Battle Fury. Not today. They're just going to wait before... Oh, no, they're not. They're going to Stampede forward. Who do they want? They want Pizza Dad. Can't get in range of that, so I guess that Stampede was just completely wasted. They're going to try for a 2-2 tower, and still they have the split from Smash, so if Boreal get a little bit too close, and I'm looking at you, Leshrac, then you can get blunked upon, and you probably will go down. It's a free 2-2 tower for Not Today, and Roshan is very quickly going to respawn. Though Boreal will have the timer on this one, I don't think they could actually fight in the Roshan pit. The cogs are going to be nice, and everything like that, but against split against the Death Ward, it's just a little bit too suicidal for them. Ewo's going to keep farming up, and even if somehow Boreal managed to stabilize, they'll be facing down a late-game Templar Assassin with the Battle Fury to amplify a farm. That's incredibly dangerous from Not, and Boreal, Templar Assassin is okay at dueling up against the PA, but not really. Blur is going to be such a nuisance later on. 50% mischance against the Templar Assassin, who is purely physical attack reliant, is absolutely crippling until she gets an MKB.
Yeah, and she's very far away from any next item for this Templar Assassin. She has the BKB that's done very little. She used it up top and just hasn't been involved in a fight since then. In theory, Templar Assassin does a lot of damage and is pretty scary, but I don't know, most of these heroes from Not Today are pretty sustainable throughout the team fights. Witch Doctor definitely can get focused down very easily. He's pretty squishy, but even he has a decent amount of sustain coming out from the Mech Voodoo Restoration as well as the Hand of God. Yeah, Voodoo Restoration only level 1 this game as he's prioritized the Maledict. I might have liked to see maybe putting a couple less points into the Paralyzing Cask in favor of the extra heal, but Triple Centaur into the Roshan pit. It looks like that's where Not Today want to go, and I think they can pretty much just take this without much of a threat of initiation coming out from Boreal, although with a Clockwork as well as a Doom to jump into the pit, it could be pretty scary. Currently, we are looking at Boreal potentially looking to find a pick off before this fight begins, and they're looking for the wraparound. They might find Mihawk. Nothing to jump into him. They do get a concussive shot. The Diebolt gets thrown up by Roll. They're not going to be able to get in range, and now Smash jumps into everybody. He's going to be able to get split off BKB onto Monkeys. He's not focused down to anybody, trying to go for the Witch Doctor. He will be able to burst on the Witch Doctor, or will he? There goes the mech. Oh, the Hand of God. It's not going to be enough. The Doom is going to fall in the backlines. Now Pizza Dad caught up between too many enemy heroes. The double edge comes out from Mihawk to secure that kill. Despite getting the Witch Doctor, Templar Assassin can't do much more than that, and well, with 2 of their heroes down, the 2 that they really need to start these fights, it's going to be pretty easy for Not Today to take this Roshan. Monkeys Forever, as well as everybody, are going to try to fight this with a double buyback. Will they be able to get this fight going their way? Silence on the Brewmaster. He's going to be dropped down pretty well. I don't know. We are going to see a Meld Strike going to land on the Phantom Assassin. She hasn't been right-clicking very effectively throughout these fights. Nobody's actually died after that, but Rolo might be the first one, as one blink in from Ewo will be enough. They found Monkeys Forever. He's going to be stunned up, but still inside the Meld. Doom going away with Misoku. Misoku not going to be able to get the mech or Force Staff off, and his army is still available. 1 stomp onto Jolly Joker, 2nd stomp onto Jolly Joker, 3rd stomp not going to be necessary. Actually comes out from the Centaur Warrunner of all the heroes, and that's going to be a triple kill for Ewo. Still spams coming out from the excuse me, Leshrac, but now the mech is available from Misoku. They Force Staff somebody outside the cogs, Force Staff out of the cogs from Pizza Dad as well, focusing down onto Ewo. Ewo might lose this streak here. Will he die? It will be enough as Templar Assassin gets that loud auto attack to hit. Right back from the Phantom Assassin. She wants back into this fight. They're looking for more Pizza Dad going to be stomped up. Now the Death Ward being channeled. It's not focused down on anybody. Hunting is going to be focused down by the Templar Assassin, but Templar Assassin now doesn't have a team, with the exception of Sky's Mage, who's already out of there, and that's going to be a double kill for Mihawk, as well as a win for Not Today. I have no idea what the exact numbers on that one were, because that was a very long, messy fight, but at the end of everything, Not Today should be able to find themselves a Roshan, which will be very useful for Ewo, as he just used his buyback. What's the actual buyback counter on everything? 3 spent from Dire and 1 spent from Radiant.
Boreal got 3 kills out of that, and Not Today got, wait for it, 8 kills. There was buybacks and respawns from Boreal galore, but they just couldn't get anything done. They couldn't kill the Brewmaster. The Phantom Assassin did buy back into that, and now she has Aegis, so she's going to be fine with spending that gold. Not Today just took such a crushing fight. Like, even Witch Doctor respawned and walked back into that fight by the time it was still going, and Doom onto the Chen, ultimately it was a nice opening for Boreal, but the Chen waited it out long enough, got the Hand of God, got the mech, healed everyone up, and still with the Vlad's aura and always with the sustain because the heroes on Not Today are so tanky, Boreal just lacked damage, and they just couldn't get their hands onto anyone and decisively bring them down, with the exception of the Witch Doctor, who was brought down twice by the Templar Assassin. Killing off Witch Doctor is not a great way to win the game, so a pretty huge win for Not Today as they collect a whole ton of kills, and they get themselves a nice jump in items as Chen picks up his Force Staff on the Witch Doctor as well. Smash, where are you going, Smash? Has his Aghanim Scepter in 2,800 gold. Centaur's finished up a pipe, and he's going to go for a heart right after. Phantom Assassin has a basher. That was a crushing fight for Not Today, and it's just a matter of time before they decide to go for the high ground.
And now we're going to have a double damage run on Ewo. I love seeing people do this. I think it's not done enough. When you have a bottle on your team and then you carry, can get yourself a double damage run, especially a hero like Phantom Assassin that can abuse it very well. Giving them that bottle to use that in the fight more directly is just so good, and I wish teams would do it more. But this next fight with the double damage rune on Ewo, as well as the BKB Basher and Battle Fury, I'm not sure that Boreal can actually fight very effectively into that.
Their only chance is for Ewo to be hitting up against the refraction charges from Monkeys Forever, but that's probably not going to happen. Monkeys Forever has picked up an MKB, so the Templar Assassin is doing some pretty serious damage, and will dodge the Brewmaster Haze as well as the Blur as they do go in. Smash gets doomed up, as well as Silence. They're going to focus down on Ewo, but he's sitting in the double damage rune, killing off Pizza Dad. Death Ward also being channeled from behind. Misko is going to kill off too with the help of the Phantom Assassin. The pipe is now up, and Monkeys Forever's BKB has run out. Force Staff forward from Misko, and they're going to get a stun to the Templar Assassin. Pizza Dad is going to call GG. They'll clean up everyone with the exception of Skywrath Mage. Initiation onto the Phantom Assassin. An okay idea, but burning so many spells against the BKB is never ever what you want to do. And that's ultimately going to mean that Not Today is going to take game number 1 pretty easily.
I think my favorite play in that last fight coming out from Not Today was Force Staff on the Centaur into the Hoof Stomp onto Templar Assassin, and she was not able to do anything in that fight. She was more or less just forced to run. She was dropped down too low despite getting off the BKB, so she wasn't brought down. That MKB did nothing in her inventory, so well played by Not Today. I'm not sure if we're actually going to have Game 2 coming up shortly, but if we do, it is going to be very soon, as we do have Rolo potentially needing to go to somewhere else very soon. So don't go anywhere, we should have Game 2 coming up next.